We'll update some of those scores as the afternoon continues. But here's Berkman and Bell, our feature players, slapping it. Who's going to get it? Going to let it go into the arms of FGCU TK Morehouse, who had an outstanding game against Lipscomb. As bam, Kirsten Bell's going to start it off with a 3. The team went 1 for 13 to start against Lipscomb. They did not want that to happen
Exactly.
again.
2 games in a row. She went 0 for 0 for it. Forget it. It's championship play, Nathan.
The ball kicked around, and now Lytle's going to try and answer with the 3,
yes.
and she banks it in.
Yes, for whom the bank tolls. For whom the banker tolls.
Here's Emma List. Now Morehouse. Back to List from the wing. She can hit the 3.
Oh, yeah.
Kirsten Bell gets her defender on the ground, off the ground, and now goes around the perimeter.
Listen, I bet their managers can hit the 3.
Yeah, no doubt. 8 to shoot. Bell, now 5 to shoot. Great crowd on hand helping her out. Can't quite get that one to go as Ashton Baker's going to pull in the rebound.
So these are the games within the game that you're talking about, just trying to match. This is a big-time 3 for the Flames.
Ashton Baker answers.
It's not necessarily that it goes every time, but just the fact that they take it and they answer.
And List is able to rip in the rebound. Now a battle for it, jump ball, and it's going to go over to FGCU.
So,
no, I'm sorry, it's going to go to Liberty.
Yeah, so Nathan, we talk about the games within the game. And just the fact that they took the shot clock down, they want to score. Florida Gulf Coast University wants to score in the first 7 seconds. If they take you down to the last 7, it's usually to do a layup.
They did call that 2 shot for Baker, so it's 5-3.
Thank you. I'll adjust my shot chart.
That's
Appreciate
right.
that, partner.
Yeah, no doubt. Lytle with List. And now ball tapped away. Morehouse forces a steal. And she's going to go up, and they're going to be blocked from behind, and they're going to say out of bounds off FGCU. What a play by the sophomore at Douglasville, Georgia, Kennedy Williams.
Kennedy Williams with a big-time play against a big-time player. Now, TK Morehouse, she is my silent stealth player of the tournament. She has quietly made the most impact, in my opinion, without any ado.
Here's Williams. Smingy's going to have it knocked away from her. Going to roll past backcourt. Stays with Liberty. Yeah. Let's take a look at Tag's keys of the game real quickly.
Hey, listen, play repeat for the Eagles. In terms of game plans, this graphic should have read, keep doing whatever Carl Smesko says.
Right.
Okay? And then offensively, the Flames have got to dominate down low. It's hard to match the size Liberty brings to the blocks. They have to pound the ball in the paint when they have a chance.
Baker gets away from a travel. No, she doesn't. They call it. There you get Baker on the travel and turn it over.
And then defensively, I need the Flames to slow the Eagles in transition, which that block right there, because TK Morehouse is just going to do it again.
And here's, good, Jamie Carl Hall talking about Liberty basketball there. Conference tournament final 22 out of 25 years. Outstanding.
Thank you to Jamie Hall, sending that to our producer, Will Adams. Thank you to the great sports information crews that have given us all this information.
List on the rebound, quickly to Bell.
The tournament. It's happened so fast. I mean, we're so excited. I feel like.
Back and forth, 7:24 left here in this first quarter. Williams works it to Lytle. Lytle thinks about going inside. Now it's going to pull away. Get a little room to work. And a foul on, maybe on Blair. Nope, it's going to be on Emma List.
Oh, no. It's our Keisha Brown, Josh Hall, and ex-Crews in the house. And we saw Dawn Marsh, our evaluators, officials evaluator, outstanding All-American
going on.
play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Listen, she's still got game. I wouldn't want to play her. Play her from the University of Tennessee.
Lytle misses the long 3.
She said she beat us in horse.
Tyra Cox. Well, Tyra Cox, as Morehouse going to hit, launch the 3. No good. Tyra Cox really struggled against Lipscomb. 0 for 8. And this is after she had scored, 15, 21 points in the quarterfinal.
Now, on the sideline, for us as fans, we're sitting right center court, so we're cheering for both teams equally. none of that matters. As a coach, you are not thinking about anything that's happened in the past. The only thing that matters right now is if you're on the court and you've got the ball, but especially if you're off the ball, you better pay attention in this game.
And the only reason I mention is because Tyra Cox missed her first shot. You know she wants to get a make. And there she goes driving in, and she'll have an opportunity as she goes right over our camera guy down there on the other end.
Listen, she got in the game quick. There's no doubt Tyra Cox is the reason why the gap occurred for the Eagles offensively in the previous games in the semis.
Watch this, coming right at you.
Come on, man. Woo!
So Cox will shoot.
That'll be the ASUN replay that you'll see that on.
Yeah.
Just coming right at Kendrell.
Rattles in and out.
So everybody's got, it's championship Sunday everywhere. You just got to take a deep breath. Remember what brought you here. Stick to the plan. You have a plan. The best idea is to stick to it right now until somebody changes your plan.
Tyra Cox makes the second. Just struggles from the free throw line. About a 60% free throw shooter on the season. Here's Williams.
It's one of the things we talked about with the Eagles is their interior passing defense is one of the most outstanding and underrated in the country, as you see.
Smangy going in.
With a little kiss off the glass.
Flames lead 7-4. Morehouse going to step around Smangy and drive in and be fouled and one. Basket's going to count, and she'll have a chance to tie the game here.
So, Nathan, with Lytle coming in there, I know it was just a little baby bump. I mean, she just was, maybe just touched her a little bit to the side. You see head coach Kerry Green, his resume is unbelievable. His 22nd season, his wife has been by his side over 1,000 games with him. This guy knows basketball. I was looking back in my notes. I have from a fax machine. So offensive set sent to him when he was a head coach. First year head coach at Liberty when I was an assistant coach at Florida State. This is a great man and a great coach. Very similar offensive styles that these teams run. They just have a different methodology for it.
Stays with Liberty, 18 seconds on the shot clock. And what a joy to talk to. And his wife has come by every single day, says hello, show us what kind of footwear she's wearing.
Her dancing shoes, she said.
She's got a red Liberty, red and blue Liberty shoes.
Yeah.
And they're apparently the envy of the Liberty fans now, as we've mentioned them.
Going crazy for them.
And that ball is up and in by Kennedy Williams. What a great job she's done here to start this one off.
Well, we talk about differences that are difference makers when you're in a championship run.
And there's Elias.
I was going to say,
just Stanley shot just short.
If that had gone, I would have said that was one of them.
Yeah, that's
she
right.
was a difference maker the other night.
Huge.
But for Williams to go toe-to-toe with the guard play at Florida Gulf Coast University is imperative tonight.
Bell gets a hand on the pass now, almost thrown away. Lytle corrals it. She's going to go around Cox, punched up in the air by Bell, and a foul coming on Kirsten Bell, I believe. Nope, they're going to get
on Cox.
We'll let you know. The Atlanta Dream head coach is in the house.
Head coach Nikki Collin in the house, one of his former assistant coaches. Coach Banbury, you see his current assistant coaches. And the coaching tree, one of the things about a winning culture is not just what your players do, but what your coaches do after they're there.
Lytle is going to put both her free throws in, an 11-7 lead for the Flames. Yeah, that was just so fascinating. Chelsea Lyles played for Coach Smesko 08-10. Shannon, there we go. Chelsea Banbury.
Coach Banbury, Coach of the Year at High Point University. The only tweet on Carl Smesko's feed for the year is a congratulations to her. Isn't that unbelievable?
Yeah. That ball's going to be slapped around, and Liberty's going to come away with it, but you're going to get a foul on, I believe, Rettstadt, maybe?
I know that.
No, Dee Brown's going to get the foul.
The Eagle faithful are just, boy, they want to do everything to keep Coach Carl Smesko for a long, long time. I said, I'll run his podcast. I was like, Arrows with Coach Carl. I'll do it. Just anything to be around winners, Nathan.
Now,
both these teams.
Explain the Arrows comment.
Well, he's got one on his leg, and it's permanent. And the Arrows is just straight through the middle of the basket.
Yeah.
Hit the bullseye. And that's what they do. They shoot arrows. Mark it down.
Iverson's going to turn around and shoot for Liberty. No good. List with the rebound.
Not an arrow.
Here's Morehouse.
It's okay. Tough
off
defense.
To Bell. Quickly to List. She thinks about the three, steps in, off the elbow, kicks it back to Bell. And Bell Makes it a one-point game.
She is so much fun to watch. She smiled in practice. She just lit it up yesterday.
Iverson again. Now is Redstadt.
Those WNBA coaches are looking at her. She'll have a long career in basketball if she wants it.
Now, we haven't mentioned it yet. We talked about it all week as Redstadt's going to drive around and hit the hook, but it's going to roll off the rim. Liberty changes in like line changes, 5 for 5.
All right. You were in the military, platoons.
Yeah.
Boom.
Bell again. Now she's got 9 points and a lead for FGCU.
You just got to stop the bleeding. There's still possession basketball. It doesn't feel like it.
6-0 run for FGCU.
Yeah. And so a platoon in the military is a group of people that stick together and do really special things and go to battle. And so they send in 5 at a time. When I was watching practice yesterday, I decided I'm going to name them A Company, B Company, and Gray Company.
Yeah.
Because the Hungry Lions are 3 down, and they beat the A Company last week in practice.
Smuda will be fouled and go to the free throw line, a 68.4% free throw shooter on the season. Makes it look easy.
So, Nathan, both these coaches have very, very unique systems. Carl Smesko has the shoot the long ball or take it to the short rim, and very, very non-high percentage shot unless you shoot 500 plus in practice. I stopped counting at 500. I was like, I'm not going to count anymore.
Wow, 13-13. Smuda, the unanimous selection to the ASUN freshman team. Bell here on the near wing goes around Redstadt. Can't get that one to go and pulled down by Lindstrom.
One of the things, even though Bell is such an elite player, she is so unselfish, so humble, is just as happy for someone else.
Lindstrom 3, and it's going to drop. 16-13 Liberty.
Coach Smesko's not going to be happy about that. He said the first thing he said about Lindstrom was pressure her. No pressure on that shot.
Stanley trying to answer, not going to get there. Iverson on the quick rebound. Liberty's pushing tempo. Iverson drives in, tries to get it to Smuda underneath. Bell's going to save it, and it's kicked out of bounds. It should stay with Liberty, and they're going to, I would imagine they're going to change this call if they'll look at it.
Yeah, they should. I mean, they need to take a look at that. This is championship play. This is a time to do it, and that is they need to go. They have the opportunity.
And they're going to keep it with FGCU.
Well, if it comes down to possession basketball, boy.
It's a big one.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Because Liberty had the momentum.
Yep.
And now FGCU's got an opportunity to cut into that momentum.
Okay, so one of the things we're seeing the Flames do on defense that is uncharacteristic, they're switching everything right now.
List drives in and runs into a wall, kicks it back out, 10 to shoot. As Claire out to List. 3 ball. Yeah! Emma List.
How many seconds was on the clock? Did you see? I couldn't see.
About 6.
Good gravy. What a backbreaker.
Tie game, 16-16, under 2 minutes to play here in this first quarter. And Dee Brown going to drive in. I think they are going to they're going to get Stanley. She didn't like the call at all.
Oh, my. It's hard to know, like, was she passing? Was she, are they going to say she was shooting?
I don't think so. That should be it. Inbound play.
Please.
They sure were huddling around that free throw line, weren't they? By the way, and as we're doing research, we are able to pull up the NCAA.com website, and our friend Autumn Johnson, who we called games with for several years here at KSU, is breaking down the teams in the bracket, and so proud of her. Just want to mention her in case she's watching.
And don't forget us when you're famous, Autumn. You already
are,
but don't forget us. Don't forget us.
Turned over by Liberty. Try and play inside out in FGCU with big hands. Speaking of hands,
wow.
How about Morehouse?
Stanley, the all-hands team. Listen, it's all hands on deck in championship play. One of the reasons why she got separation in the semis was Stanley.
And a charge on Liberty.
Wow.
That ball turning over to FGCU has totally flipped momentum.
Every single possession counts in championship play. You don't get to this point. And you see how she was just trying to say, hey, I'm just sort of turning around. But it's it's like an interference call. Moving screen. Even though you look like you're trying to just run the offense.
Blair. Andrea Blair, graduate student from Bowling Green. Their List is going to drive against the freshman team and get fouled. Smuda will pick up her first.
Nathan, I'm laughing because it's like she taunts her.
Yeah.
She's like, you're going to come out and guard me? Just come out and watch it. You just saw that little hesitation go by and then took it right to her, knowing she's 8-10 inches on the reach taller than her, did not hesitate.
Andrea Cecil checks in. She's a graduate student. Alyssa Blair is out of Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, the senior.
How about
and Emma List from the free throw line.
Talk to me about List. I mean, we talk about these role players. We talk about the differences that are difference makers. When you can get a player, he always has one. He always has one that'll take the charge every time down the floor, make the smart play, make the cut, willing to take it on the chin. Literally.
And a rebound off the free throw.
Yeah, Cecil's one too. That big offensive board right there.
That's right. Here's Blair.
Great coverage of interior, the passing.
5 to shoot, 45 seconds to play in this quarter. Morehouse has her shot blocked by Redstadt.
Wow, that's a long reach. And high risk, high reward right there.
Yeah. Redstadt could have picked up her second foul. Instead, gets all ball.
Yeah.
And here's Lindstrom.
You see
Iverson.
You see the handoff, and they're trying to draw the defense out away from the paint to do just that, get that ISO down low.
Smuda up and under, not going to go. Redstadt's there and going to go back to FGCU.
Oh, I know Smuda wants to get that back because you don't get them ISO down low very often.
And
platoon.
Here comes the line change. Would you say platoon A?
I'm going to say this is platoon A.
Company.
Yeah, A company. I'm going to call them A company.
Back on the floor. 15.7 seconds left.
For 15 seconds.
FGCU has a 3-point lead. Tried to extend it here. Morehouse usually waits to about 4 seconds to make her run. She's now kicked it around, and Blair, 3-ball, buried. Blair puts up her first point, and they're huge. 22-16 as the first quarter ends on a buzzer-beating 3. Alyssa Blair, the senior, just ahead of the second quarter. And here's the bracket. Kennesaw State, Jacksonville had the play-in game. Jacksonville advanced to face Florida Gulf Coast. And Florida Gulf Coast, of course, won that one and advanced against Lipscomb. And back to live action here. It's been a great tournament. That ball's tapped up in the air. Morehouse is going to keep possession for FGCU. But you look what Stetson and Lipscomb, that game, how that game went to overtime.
Yeah.
That's the kind of March Madness we love.
Lipscomb advances. Coach Sumsky said yesterday, to be the best, you have to go through the best. Knew that they had to bring their A game against Florida Gulf Coast University for obvious reasons.
Right.
And then Coach Gibbs from University of North Florida, credit them for a great outing against Liberty from the blocks. And then we can release this now for the first time ever. Jazz Bond played with a torn labrum for most of the year.
Wow.
And so the gut check that kid brought just couldn't hold that tough injury to play with.
3 in the key called on Bell.
But for those teams to do what they did with the managing injuries and size, credit to those coaches and those programs, and credit to those players. And we hope we get to see more of them, the super seniors that can come back. I want them all to come back, Nathan.
Liberty right now on a bit of a scoring slump. What do you think they need to do here to just get some points on the board?
Just let it ride right now.
Right.
I'm not a gambler, okay? But you just got to stick to the game plan. Whatever it was they came out of the blocks with was working. So just go back to that. Stay calm, cool, and collected. Take it down to the last 7 seconds of the shot, just like this. 1 second on the shot clock, just as it's coming out of my mouth. Smingy, rather. You get a
foul by Cecil.
You get a foul with 1 second on the shot clock. That's a win for Liberty. Now you got to put these through the hoop so that you get the points on the board. But anytime you can score against the Eagles with the clock stop, which, by the way, not many teams have done this year.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you got it.
Smingy's only been at the free throw line for 4 shots this season, just 1 for 4. So this is now 2 for 5 on the whole year.
Yeah.
So
she's usually at the free. She's usually around the rim, rebounding, getting the ball to someone else who gets on the free throw line.
And she will make both. 22-18, 8:41 here in the second quarter. Thanks for joining us here on ESPN Plus. ASUN Championship final game for the automatic qualifier, and Kristen Bell. What a feed by Emma List as Bell.
Oh, my word. Okay, how do I draw that on there? I have a Jumanji, like three-dimensional shot chart. Are you joking me? That's the number 6 scorer in the nation.
What a great play drawn up, and now Lytle from the elbow.
Okay. And then my voice goes back down to this because that's exactly what Liberty has to do. Just quietly answer these explosive plays by the Eagles.
Bell going to drive in baseline and get the block called on Kennedy Williams, I believe.
Yeah,
it will be. By the way, we'll have to get a picture. There's of the Ford sitting down there in the red shirts. I know just there above the ASUN sign, that is Lytle's family. And her sister has a sign she holds up. That's my freaking sister.
We'll get that on. We'll get that on here pretty soon. You can
makes her free throws.
You can see him in the left side of the screen. That's that Thanksgiving pickup game I'm telling you I don't want to be a part of.
Yeah. And she'll make both of them. But Bell just does everything from the fundamentals to the fun plays.
Yeah.
Just, I mean,
winner, chicken dinner. Yeah, everything she touches goes to the next level. We thanked her parents. I did.
Yeah.
I thanked her parents yesterday for birthing her, bringing her to the earth. What a joy to watch.
Oh, they try to get it to Lytle, and I think a little miscommunication between Berkman and Lytle.
You just got to hit her in the numbers, especially with the interior passing defense that the Eagles bring. You just got to hit them in the numbers on a rope.
I think Ashton Baker also may have been cutting.
Yeah.
Regardless of turnover, FGCU going to try and take advantage of the turnover. Morehouse from behind is going to be fouled by Kennedy Williams, and that is Williams' second.
Yeah.
Team's third.
So what I love against this, here's my quiet storm right there. TK Morehouse, the quiet storm.
Yeah.
Remember the radio station here in Atlanta used to call it the quiet storm.
Yeah.
That's her. Stealth. Under the radar, but above the universe when it comes to actions on the floor that aren't on a stat sheet. She communicates. She touches the ball. Just a little disruptive things that you're never going to see on a stat sheet, besides the fact she could score lights out.
And Liz is going to
oh my word,
get the foul trying to get the rebound.
Yeah.
So that's going to be her second.
Yeah, that's not what you want in the second quarter because Liz is such a banger. Physical player. You want her to continue to have the guts to do that.
So Emily Lytle inbounds to Iverson.
Really appreciated the feedback from the fans that we've gotten throughout the tournament and the travel. The teams here have really traveled well for this championship game.
Going to go out of bounds. Staying with Liberty, 18 seconds to shoot. Alyssa Iverson's going to inbound the junior out of Illinois. She's kind of also been like that silent, solid player for Liberty.
Yeah. That was a great no call by the officials.
Lytle, and you're going to say double dribble on Lytle. Trying to get around Emma List.
Her entire family standing up. That's awesome, man. That's a good substitution right there. I like this young player coming in.
So,
yes.
Yeah, List checks out. Hackley checks in.
I like her. Future's bright. Had a great practice yesterday. High energy.
Ooh. Cox swinging those elbows around. Got to be careful. Here's Bell. Bell's got some space. Good defense there by Lytle to get in her face.
Yeah.
As Iverson will bring it up. 27-20. Liberty doesn't want to let Florida Gulf Coast extend any kind of lead, so they need to cut into it right here. 6:38 left.
Yeah, remember, if they can cut into it with the clock stop right here, taking it to the paint, that's what they want to do.
Blocked shot. Lytle's going to be fouled by Bell.
Wow.
That's going to be Bell's second.
Some very uncharacteristic by Coach Carl Smesto emotion on the sideline on that. Physical play. They let that one go, and for some reason got this one because of the reach.
Yeah, because of just a hand that dropped a little bit.
Yeah. So that's called playing at verticality. The technical term for that is you just got to go straight up. Hey, she was straight up. You hear people yelling. And as long as you're in that plane, you're fine. Once you cross it, then it's up to the official how much they're going to let you get away with.
Lytle makes a free throw shot. Now with 7 points. Make it 8 points. And a 5-point FGCU lead.
That is a strategy. to score with the clock stopped, because that also stops their transition offense.
So Bell off to Hackley. Morehouse trying to make some moves. Good defense by Liberty. And now driving in is Stanley. She's going to get it off the bank.
Just so impressed with Aaliyah Stanley in this tournament run. She'd be my sleeper. She'd be the one that we'd say the one that was the biggest difference maker, in my opinion.
Baker's got a little room now, put back up by Berkman off the miss.
Wow.
And Maya Berkman, the junior.
Through traffic. What a great story she is. We'll talk a little bit about that when we have a gap.
Yep. Stanley, 3.
Dude.
And Stanley nails the 3.
Dude, differences that are difference makers. When you have the 5 that you do come out in the A company on both sides of the ball here, and then you got 6, 7, 8, 9 that can do that.
Baker off the back iron. Hackley will bring it up. Slows it down for Bell. Long 3, Hackley. Wow! Booyah. They don't miss.
What?
Timeout, Liberty. 35-24.
It's like butter.
Yeah, it's like butter.
At practice, I stopped counting when they got to 500. I'm not counting anymore. That's what they do, just in their normal routine.
11-point lead for FGCU. They're on a 6-0 run. Liberty tries to find something inside. It's going to be turned over back to FGCU. Morehouse.
Nathan
kicks it back out. List works around to Stanley.
That's the interior defense we're talking about.
And wow, what a spin move, and going to drop for FGCU. Alyssa Blair, what a feed.
The interior defense that the Flames needed right there. They just needed one deflection to stop that, and Florida Gulf Coast University just absolutely drilling that.
Here's Baker, just 1 for 3 from the field. And she's going to take a 3-ball, not going to go. Battle for the rebound. Redstad's got it firmly in control.
It's got to go. They got to be money on the bunny. When you can get mid-range shots against this defense, when you can get into the gaps, one of the things that Coach Carl Smesko is just brilliant about, as you see B Company coming in for the Flames, is the analytics, the study in the game, he treats it like a football program, in terms of the amount of information that they're dialing down and downloading to their players. They're just relentless, and the kids come in and just execute perfectly.
D. Brown on the missed 3. Here's Morehouse. Morehouse kicks it to Stanley. Now they'll work it to Bell. Bell's got lots of room. Now back out to Stanley. That one's in and out.
Just the unselfish play of Bell. She could have easily taken that herself, but she sees a teammate wide open. Impressive.
Redstad sets a little pick. Iverson gets the dish off to Lindstrom. And now Tyra Cox is going to be whistled for a reach-in foul.
Okay, so this is, again, advantage Flames on this because the clock is stopped. It stops the rhythm. It stops the intensity and the sort of urgency that you hear on the sideline.
4th team foul.
Flames are fine. Yeah, Flames are fine, though. This is what they want to do. Then they can potentially have a 40-second defensive set if they break it down again.
Tyra Cox, 2nd foul. Lindstrom. Here's Redstack. Crosses over, spin move, in the key, out to Smuda. Freshman Smuda is going to miss the shot. But Liberty's just struggling right now. 7 for 20, shooting 35%. To FGCU's 48%, and now it's a 10-0 run by FGCU.
It just makes it look so effortless.
Bell,
just
15.
Absolutely effortless, just slicing and dicing. One of the better defenses in the conference, by the way.
Iverson to Lindstrom. Lindstrom's going to drive around Cox and be fouled again. I think that's Tyra Cox's 3rd foul.
So money on the bunny. Liberty has missed some just wide open shots.
Right.
Close in. Is that nerves? Is that, I don't know. All I know is that they got the shots off. So if you just do the math and they make half those, 5-footers that they've missed, it's possession basketball. But this is how Florida Gulf Coast University breaks you down. And there's going to be plenty of people, by the way, hello to all the coaches that are scouting this game, because plenty of people are scouting this game for the NCAA tournament for obvious reasons. And they know that Florida Gulf Coast University, you've never seen anything like it. You haven't seen it before. You won't see it since. When you see Carl Smesko's name in with Gino Ariema, Tara Vanderveer, and Pat Summitt, Carl Smesko, he's in that talk.
Here's Bell. Works it to List, and that ball's on the floor. And jump ball stays with FGCU.
Can I just say, Bell put that on a rope.
Yeah, she did.
Down to right through 4 Liberty defenders. That they just got to get their hands up in the passing lanes.
Watch this.
Just hand in the passing lane. I know your hands are up high. The ball's coming down low.
So inbound from Morehouse.
And that's the credit that Coach Smesko doesn't get on the defensive end that his team does so well.
The ball slapped away from Morehouse. She's able to get it out to Blair. And they have what a convenient roll by FGCU.
Yeah, who else? You know, Emma's right there.
Stanley runs baseline and just loses the handle on it,
hey,
turns it over.
Got a break. You got to take advantage of it right now.
Iverson kicks out Brown and travels.
Oh, my. Well, we saw Dee Brown, shooting long range in the tournament. She is capable of it, but she's also capable of taking it off the bounce. Unforced errors. This is what championship play is all about. You have to eliminate unforced errors.
And you got to score. No field goals for Liberty in the last 3:24.
You can feel the momentum. Obviously the momentum has chosen which side of the gym it's going to be on right now, but you got to take it back if you're Liberty.
Morehouse drives in. Redstack gets a hand on it to tap it away, and FGCU will corral it and maintain possession. Bell. Morehouse. Bam! TK Morehouse. Give her 7 points. And extending the lead by FGCU.
So the lack of interior defense for Liberty hurts them. The people collapse in the paint. The strength of the interior defense for the Eagles.
That one's way off the mark.
The strength of the interior defense. Bell hits that in transition. It's a dagger, but it's not necessary right now. And that's part of the game that she's learning. We talked to WNBA Atlanta Dream head coach Nikki Collins. She said, well, she's just learned. The game is just she's so young in the game right now.
Redstack has her 3 roll in and out.
And she's just sometimes she's just got to let the game come to her. We know she can bring the game to us. And sometimes she's got to let the game come to her.
We're approaching 1 minute, 42-26. Here's Bell. And she'll drive in and be fouled by Iverson. That'll be Iverson's first. Team's third, rather.
So a similarity in both these offensive sets. They both play offensive schemes that are called positionless basketball. Even though Liberty's got some bigs, they can play they bring them out, they stretch the game. But it's that gap integrity. It's setting the edge that Florida Gulf Coast University does better than anybody, left coast to right coast right now in the country. I'll say it right now. They're a sleeper in the NCAA tournament. They will make a deep run in this year's NCAA tournament. I don't care I don't care if they win this championship game or not. No Liberty fans don't need to text us or anything, because they're going to the dance with or without a championship trophy. But I'm telling you, they have what it takes to take a run if they can take care of the little things and control the controllables.
All right, so Adams checks in for FGCU. 45 seconds here. Liberty desperately needs a couple baskets here. There's one. Great job, Emily Lytle.
Great call. Good call, partner. Right on cue.
Yeah.
Just close the gap. Somehow get a defensive turn. Get a stop. Get another turnover. That's exactly right.
Now Hackley. Cecil, she can hit the 3. Great defense there by Redstack. Now Stanley going to drive in and charge coming.
Oh!
Emily Lytle steps in, plants her feet, and gets the charge.
Big time momentum changer, my friend. Whether or not we agree with it doesn't matter. What matters is that absolutely go in the other direction. You get a personal foul, a team foul, you get the ball, and all of a sudden that Uncle Mo comes a little bit closer to center court, and the momentum goes right up in the middle.
So it will be Liberty on the inbound, trying to cut this lead. Shot clock off, 15.5 seconds. It's been all Lytle, but you know Baker, D. Brown also can hit it. Who you going with for the final shot?
Anybody who will put it through the net, that's who I'm going with. Arrows, baby. Answer. Arrows.
All right, it's going to be turned over.
Wow.
And ball on the ground, whistle. It's going to stay with Liberty. They'll have 2.4 seconds left.
Hey.
Does that change what you're doing?
No, absolutely not. So here's the thing. The good news is they got the possession back. The bad news, and the better news is they didn't get a turnover out of it for a score for Florida Gulf Coast University. True. So that's the best news. All
right, 2.4 left. What's Liberty got? To Lytle. And it's turned over. Long mid-court shot, not going to go. So the first half ends with FGCU on a run, 44-28. Liberty, one of their last 7 from the...
Of how she has laid down her life to serve others off the court. So when she says that's a great story, it's a great story because she's a great story.
She certainly is. And we are very happy to bring that Berkman story to you as the second half is now underway. FGCU has the first possession. They lead. And Morehouse.
That's a great off the court story, but the on the court story, it's all Florida Gulf Coast University right now.
It really is. As if you're Coach Green, you go in the locker room as, well, Morehouse going to get a freebie there. Could have been called a charge, but
Bergman's going to get a break because that could have been a foul.
It could have been a foul as well. What are you telling your team? Is it between the ears right now, or is it on the floor?
Nathan, I said it before, and I'll say it again. They got to make money on the bunny. They got to make bank on the bunny. But number 2, stick to the plan. They were switching everything defensively. It was working the first 5 minutes. Whatever they did the first 5 minutes of the half, they needed to do the last 5 minutes.
Smingy back to Lytle, 6 to shoot, and a foul will come, and that may be on Bell.
Similar. Okay, what we talked about early.
No, it's actually going to be List, and that's her third.
Good gravy. Yeah, and that's not, listen, I would take it right to her. List is a go-to banger on the defensive end. I would go right in against List. I would go one-on-one, and I would find a way. Very uncharacteristic.
Yep. Ball thrown away. Stays. It's going to go to FGCU here.
There was a little bit of misdirection. They ran into each other. Miscommunication.
Yeah, but that's the advantage you got to take. You can't let those points stay off the board.
You can't leave the points off the board. You got to put them on the scoreboard, Nathan. I don't know. Listen, we're sitting up on the sideline. What do we know? Come on.
We're just enjoying watching these student athletes do what they do.
What a privilege.
Yep. So Blair. Now Morehouse on the far wing.
If you're a basketball junkie, what you're seeing is almost the exact same offensive set that Liberty just ran.
Bell, 3, not going to go. List, hard rebound.
Differences that are difference makers. Possession basketball. You have to play every possession like it's the last possession because this is the only chance you get to go to the dance.
Here's Cox sliding in and will be fouled. And Smingy didn't think so.
100% great position inside the arc. Doesn't count. Automatic, no call, no charge if your feet aren't firmly planted. Watch the feet, Nathan. She's on the line. In fact, she's inside the arc. You got to get them just a nano hair outside, and then she'll get that charge.
And that hits everything. Again, we talked about Cox's struggles from the free throw line. Only about a 58 to 60% free throw shooter on the season.
So Coach Smesko has a big football. He brings a lot of football principles in terms of his coaching mentality. Football's a game of inches, but basketball's a game of runs. You just have to do something to get your offensive run.
Well, it's tapped away by Blair and then stolen by Morehouse. She's got the run. Lytle from behind, knocking a foul, and a little reverse layup there by Morehouse.
The quiet storm. Yeah. She just brings that intensity. Division I, All-American on the junior college level, and you see why there.
Smingy gives it off to Lytle.
Got to get it down low. Yeah.
There she goes. Kick out Baker. Long three for Ashton Baker, and she's going to drop it in.
Now listen, if Baker's just half the points in the first half that she had rim in and out, it's a different story.
Cox almost has that slapped away by Baker. Now they'll work it to Kirsten Bell. Kirsten Bell's going to back out. Now hard skip pass over to Blair. Morehouse got some space, gives it to Bell. Bell doesn't miss. Another three. She's got 20 points on the afternoon.
And the shot clock just clicking down. 6, 5, 4, 3 points for the Eagles.
That's the way it's been. Smingy, great cut, good feed by Ashton Baker.
So remember, 2 degrees from Georgia Tech. I'm not a math major, all right? But you can't trade 2s for 3s right now. Right. You have to come back. You have to get a defensive stop 2 times in a row.
Smingy with a hand in the face of Bell.
Now, that's not a stop. That's a rebound.
Right.
Okay? Because Bell is lights out from there. That's her favorite spot on the favorite shot from her favorite spot.
Baker thinks she's fouled. They got a piece of the ball. And now ball kicked and it'll go or stay with FGCU.
Yeah. Now here's a rare single substitution by the Flames.
Yep.
You know, normal teams substituting 2s and 3s just like Coach Carl Smesko did.
Bell takes a breather as well as Stanley, Adams, and Hackley.
So one of the things we haven't mentioned yet, Florida Gulf Coast University lost 90% of their scoring from last year. Are you kidding me?
That's unreal. And, just out of the reach of Baker.
So right there, the nonverbal communication between each other. I got it. They got to touch hand. Yeah, they communicate. Hey, I'll get that next time. And just get the energy back in terms of their communication. It was there, wide open, just a little bit off on timing.
Morehouse. Here's Cecil.
I like the look defensively by Redstadt. Much better defensive position.
List into the key, out to Cecil. She can hit the three, and she hits nothing but net. Cecil's first points of the game. 20-point advantage by FGCU.
Yeah. They came out in their shooting drills yesterday. It was like hit 2 in a row from 7 spots. Hit 4 in a row from 5 spots. Hit, arrows.
Lytle picks the ball up after Baker hit the deck, and she puts it up and in.
And that's exactly what we expected from the tip from Lytle.
Yep. Here's Stanley. List directing things. Now goes around Redstadt. She's going to put it off the glass and be fouled by Redstadt. That'll be her second.
My word. 18 points. It doesn't feel like 18-point cap.
No.
It feels the game, the intensity level, sitting here alongside, it feels like possession basketball because everybody's going hard. But once Florida Gulf Coast University, once they put that dagger in, they get that 15, plus or minus 15-point separation, and then they just throttle. And all of a sudden you look up and it's 20 points. It's 22, and you try to get it back down to 12, and it's like an act of Congress, which, by the way, we've all realized is really an act of Congress is tough.
Kennedy will bring it up as List makes both her free throws. She's money from there, about almost 80% from the line. Now tapped away by Tyra Cox, saved by Baker. Lytle shifting things. List able to get a hand on it. Taps away just for a second. 7 to shoot. Lytle drives in. Spin move. Can't get the glass. And now ripped away from her own teammate, Redstadt. And saves it to Williams.
There's the Thanksgiving noon ball right there. Yep. That's what it's all about. Oh, they got to hit that, Nathan.
Redstadt can't get it to drop.
Just can't. I mean, they just can't buy a bucket right now. They have had bunny shots.
Cecil's going to go up and get the foul and will go to the line. Redstadt, with her hands in the air, just doesn't think it was a foul. It doesn't matter. That does not matter.
Family was one of the positive things that every single coach expressed to us. Coach Smesko, conference tourney, he talked about being able to play back-to-back and making adjustments with the way it used to be, before time began when I played. With having those weekend trips where you had back-to-back games. A lot less off-court was normal, but the on-court and the family time was a plus. And I know Coach Smesko is one of those family guys.
Yep, as his little Lytle shot's going to not go and go off the hands of Morehouse.
And a class act.
Yeah, class act. As we talked about Coach Baronato sending us messages saying that she's doing well and our love out to her. And she said that it's championship game day, and Coach Smesko reached out to check on her and see how she was doing. And she mentioned how much she appreciated that and what a class act he is. So certainly he does it on and off the court.
Basketball family included. And we want to just send our well wishes.
Lytle off the deflection, and she's going to be fouled by Cecil.
I know that Coach Tiber is celebrating some family time this week. She had a wonderful off-the-court event, adopting her second child, a little baby girl. And so we wish her and all the coaches, Coach Lynn Bria, who is caregiving for her mom in the midst of being a head college basketball coach at Stetson, and has been there over a quarter of a century, and all the incredible coaches that we've talked about today. Bellarmine, the addition of Chancellor Dugan into the conference, is just a winner on and off the court. And we just can't say enough about the great coaches in this conference. This ASUN Women's Basketball Conference is a high basketball IQ on and off the court.
Lytle, big, important baskets. Now great defense by Kennedy Williams on Morehouse. As we are under 4 minutes to play here, it's still a 20-point lead. Liberty is going to turn it over here, but can't find a rhythm.
As a coach, you just think, that's 100% in our control. Just hit her in the numbers. I know it's 20 points, but you just have to, how do you eat an elephant? Which, by the way, you don't ever eat an elephant, but how do you close the gap? That always cracks me up, that analogy. In corporate America, I'm like, what? Who wants to eat an elephant? So you just close the gap one possession at a time. You can't close 20 points at once, but you can get a stop. You can take a charge, but you have to get your feet outside. It was a great idea. It's just get outside the arc. Execution, my friend.
Bell makes her free throw. She is up to 21 points. Make it 22 easy points.
No, it's like you blink.
She's unbelievable.
Blink, and she's there. Look, and she's so much fun. She is so unselfish. At practice, she's cheering for other players as much as she's getting the ball herself. She's just a delight. The smiles that she brings onto the court before she scores are just delightful.
Here's Smingy. Baker, 3-ball. Yeah! Ashton Baker.
Okay.
She now has 8 points.
One shot. Now you have to put it together with a stop, and you have to get outside the arc to take that charge.
Even your potential turnovers roll to a teammate, and Liz puts it up and in.
You have to get 2 in a row. You do a thing in practice called down, back, down. And you have to go down, score, back, stop, down, score. And you practice just getting 3 in a row.
Smuda and Morehouse able to tap the ball away on the ground. It's going to stay with Liberty. Yeah, how do we get the mid-major voters to look at Bell for the Player of the Year? She is just fantastic.
You just do the math, my friend.
Jeez.
Go up into the national, go into, you know what a thrill it is to go into the Synergy and to look at the numbers. It's like the Golden State Warriors. We're looking at what this team says, and then to find a lot of times when you have an individual player who's excelling so much, the team isn't excelling. Not so fast, as Coach Corso would say. They have the total package. You've got to give her credit.
Ball kicked up in the air by List is...
And because of
Liberty will keep.
Listen, players like Emma List may not show up on all the stats, but because she does things like that, it creates gaps. It just gives you a space to recover defensively.
Smuda will inbound. 2:43 left. Now Lytle. And it's nothing easy right now for Liberty.
And why should it be?
Yeah, FGCU is just wrenching the vice on every aspect of basketball. Lytle's going to be fouled by Bell. That'll be her second, team's second.
So there's no home court advantage from here out. You have to just go straight. I know you want to block the shot, and it may have been a completely clean block. But when you're playing on neutral floors from this point forward, Nathan, and you're building a championship culture beyond Alico Arena, you have to know that that is what we need from you. And if you're going to be an All-American, and she is, and will continue to be, all the above, like we said, for how many years she wants to be.
Lytle makes the shot. Beg your pardon, it's the third team foul.
But credit Lytle for taking it right to her. I mean, do I want to take it right to that? Not to the All-American, I don't.
Lytle, she's got 18.
It's got to get down into single digits by the end of this. You just got to try to somehow inch away.
Bell, three, and is absolutely money.
Belly up on Bell. Again, just minus all her threes, and there's 7. How many threes does she have right now?
She's got 5 threes.
Right, so that you just take off 5 points in the gap right there.
Yep, 25 points for Bell, and Smuta's got it, trying to get some help, and you're going to say a foul. Or they say timeout.
Timeout, yeah.
Timeout by Coach Green in Liberty. So at 2:01 on the floor.
They got their fat heads out, and they're cheering, and the lists are in front of us from Colorado. But that's March Madness.
There's the Lytle family.
Look at her. They're coaching her right now. They're saying, look, if the Thanksgiving pickup game comes down, they know what's going on.
Got inbound, and they do. Lytle against List. Double team leaves Smuta, and she just dribbles it off her knee and turns it over.
Just catch and shoot, Nathan. They're just too good defensively in the interior. I know that you feel like, can you close this gap? You have to. This is about how you end this season is how you begin the next season. And anybody that's been to postseason for any amount of time, and TK Morehouse is going to keep taking them there for a long time, at least another year. And so she's got 2. But I'm telling you, this is about recruiting and building for the next season. How you start one year is how you finish another.
Smuta turnaround, not going to go. Battles Bell for the rebound, goes over the back, and a foul on Smuta.
You didn't hear where. Scratch that, reverse. How you finish one year is how you start another. Yeah, it's a lot. But don't you feel like you've got tournament voice? I've got tournament voice.
Yeah.
We're
tournament
not playing.
mind.
We're just, it's such a brain drain. And credit to these kids who have been in class this week. I mean, they're actually going to study hall still. And I know you're going to call football and soccer and all the ASUN events that are going on here this week. It's a championship week, not just in women's basketball.
And Bell misses her free throw. Was 6 for 6 up to that point. Yeah, but you're right. It's a heck of a week all around the country for all these conferences, and just an honor to be here and be a part of the ASUN and ESPN Plus broadcast, and to sit next to you, my dear friend, Coach Tag.
What a joy.
Yeah. A little something for the effort. You didn't even bring me a donut.
Oh my gosh.
Lytle off the glass is not going to go, and Morehouse brings it in.
I brought the crew St. Patrick's Day donuts from Krispy Kreme, and he didn't even want one. Unbelievable. So let me talk about Coach Sumsky's conversation yesterday. She said we are a play to the buzzer team. Every team that makes a championship run has to be a play to the buzzer team. And look at the unselfish play of Bell right there, my friend.
And let's say Liberty's defense just collapsed, and Morehouse made him pay.
Morehouse will make you pay anytime she touches the ball.
It's another 6-0 run by FGCU. And Williams said, well, somebody's got to do something. And she takes it.
Got to.
She's got fans in the house as well.
Listen, you've got to have an answer. Allen Iverson is the answer. What's the question?
Yeah.
Answer.
That's right.
Answer a run.
67-44. 4 seconds, and the 3 ball by Morehouse not going to go, and that's going to be the way third quarter ends. FGCU continues to pile on Liberty while they try and find an answer. We got one more quarter, 10 minutes till we crown the ASUN champion. Stay with us here on ESPN Plus to see what happens.
Has now, in the first Division I era FGCU player with 600 points in the season, right here today. You heard it here first. Congratulations.
Absolutely. She's done a great job, and it's been a joy to watch her. And both our phones are blowing up going, isn't she good? She's so good.
Yes.
Coach
Jenny Hoover from Wake Forest dialing in to the ASUN. Thank you, Coach Hoover.
That ball's going to go out of bounds to Liberty.
She's watching a special player right there who doesn't want to dial into that. Mike Robinson's here from the ball out. A lot of people are showing up to cover her.
So does this come down possession by possession for Liberty?
Yeah, absolutely. You just have to forget the scoreboard. It's just like deja vu all over again. Forget the scoreboard and play with the scoreboard between the shoulders. Yes, get a three-pointer the old-fashioned way. D. Brown
showing up.
Taking it.
First points of the contest for Brown.
Taking it downtown, D. Brown.
And she'll hit the free throw line to try and complete the three-point play as List will check out. Cecil checks back in.
That was fun, but let's talk for a minute here. Time and score.
All right.
Okay, time is not on your side, and score is not on your side. So you want to score with the clock stopped. This is the only way that you can close the gap right now.
Here's Bell, Lytle. Now Cecil, a little head fake, tries to give it back to Bell, and it was a great defense there by Liberty.
The interior passing, collapsing in lanes, that's exactly what they practiced yesterday. Went away from their game plan a little bit during that run, and now back to it.
Brown going to go off back iron right in the middle of a bunch of Eagles waiting for the rebound, and then a foul by Williams.
Okay, Nathan, we said down, back, down. Oh, they didn't score, but they didn't let Florida Gulf Coast University score in transition. So that's a win just in that moment. Now, next time you have to score. You've got to start closing the gaps. You can't let the Eagles score 3 and you score 2. You've got to stop, score, take a charge, do something to change the momentum right now with a 20-point gap.
Cecil.
You want to see a good interview? Cecil preseason. Cecil passing to the All-American. Didn't get it, but they will next time.
Baker kicks it back to Williams. Williams going to go into the key. Now off to Smuda, off the glass.
BEA, beautiful. They took advantage of the lack of interior defense. Now take a run, get a stop, and do it again. I don't care if you have to foul someone and put them on the line. You cannot let the ball go through that orange rim right now.
Tyra Cox off to Morehouse. Now Stanley for 3. She is on fire. She's now got 10 points.
Nathan, that's what I'm talking about. At least I would foul her. She is shooting better from the three-point percentage right now. Yeah. Some of these players are. And you just have to somehow stop the clock and the momentum. Got to give Smuda the ball on that one.
Brown to Baker. Baker 3.
Inches.
Yep.
You can feel it slipping away, but that's just legs.
Morehouse going to go coast to coast, kick it back out to Cecil. Now Bell.
Which, by the way, Cecil hits that in transition on a regular basis.
No doubt. Yep. Tyra Cox finds Cecil on the wing.
That's her favorite spot.
Dribble in Morehouse. And she'll go for the 3 ball.
Take it down, attack the rack. You can feel a little bit of legs from Florida Gulf Coast University. You don't get this opportunity much. You've got to keep them on their heels.
Baker works around the defense to Lytle. Inside to Brown, and a whistle going to be against Tyra Cox.
That's right. That's a good call. You got to make sure on that. Now, everybody gets to catch a break. When the clock stops, they can score with the clock. But the interior defense, you saw the arm bar. It was like a pass interference, with the strong safeties. Yeah. Bad, can't put your hand on them.
4 foul for Tyra Cox, so Emma List will check in. List has 3. No, List has 4 as well.
When you talk about the game prep that Carl Smesco does.
Baker off the inbound, going to get it to drop. So Liberty is cutting into this FGCU lead. Now Morehouse gets lost behind the defense and has an easy 2.
All right, I got 2 pictures in my phone. Anybody wants to text me. Do you want Coach Ditka or do you want Sterling Brown? Come on, man. Like, you cannot do that.
Yeah.
Here's why.
Morehouse again sneaking through the defense.
They are just too good. Are you kidding me? We lose an offense and they score 2 in transition?
Liberty has to call a timeout. 74-52, 6:39 left in this ASUN championship game. The winner will be crowned.
You're welcome to everyone who wants a basketball podcast, because you'll never hear Carl Smesco bragging about himself, but he's on Austin Parkinson's Parks Pods, the IUPUI women's basketball coach. Go get it right now. And he talks about how they do pregame prep. It's unbelievable. You tell us they went down every player and for 30, 45 minutes talked about everything that Liberty did, knew every personnel, A company, B company, C company, and knew the entire roster.
Inside to Berkman. She's going to try and get her own rebound and then ripped away by Cecil, staying with Liberty on the simultaneous possession.
But you got to give the guy credit. There's just so many things off the court in terms of hours and hours of preparation that go on behind the scenes that you just will never hear about. As you see, Maya Berkman, that was our focus. If you didn't see the halftime special on her, go back, get your Kleenex out. It's a tearjerker.
D. Brown going to go off the glass and up and in. By the way, around the country.
There he is.
Stephen F. Austin leads Sam Houston 37-32 in the Southland Championship. Baylor has defeated West Virginia 76-50 in the Big 12 Championship.
But Coach Smesko talks about the importance of taking personal responsibility. They run about 100,000 offensive sets themselves. I mean, the list is off the charts. Again, how many shots? I quit counting at like 500 when they did the threes. But the offensive sets, it's Omaha.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just unbelievable the audibles they can give in game.
20-point lead for FGCU. Bell. Cecil. List 9 to shoot. Bell's going to put it up, and that one's just off the mark, but Morehouse.
Who else?
Among everybody on the floor, Morehouse sneaks in and gets the rebound.
Come on, man. I mean, she just does it all. She's probably like getting the team meal after the game. I mean, she's just here to serve. Look at that. What a joy it is to watch her.
Yep. Cecil 2 to shoot, and that's a tough one for Liz as it kicks off her foot.
Hey.
Shot clock violation.
A rare find. If somebody doesn't get excited about that on the Flames bench, something's wrong. When you get a shot clock violation from one of the most efficient offenses in the country, you got to celebrate the little things, man.
Iverson got some space. Can't quite hit the open shot. And then a reach around by Berkman is going to draw the whistle. And Berkman picks up her second.
I've counted 10, maybe 12 just bunny shots that all went down in practice for Liberty yesterday. They are money on the bunny, and they just could not buy a mid-range today. And, you know, I'm for the mid-range.
Yeah.
By the way.
Morehouse will direct things. Now List. List being guarded by Baker. 10 to shoot, but Bell drives in, kicks out, and a travel by Kirsten Bell.
That's all right, a little bit of happy feet there, no worries. Just get it back out, just reset. Don't let that bring you down. Don't even think about it for a second. You just got to go back. When you mess it up, you make it up. And when you're learning to be an All-American consistently now as a sophomore, if she's getting these looks, then guess what that means as a junior, as a senior?
Golly,
it means to be a long career. If she wants it, she can have a long professional career.
Williams checks in as well as Redstadt. Now Lytle into Redstadt. Bridget Redstadt. No, not going to draw the whistle.
It's got to get tough. You just got to get tough. Figuring out how not to lose. That was part of the podcast as well. Not just how do you win, but how do you not lose? And that's one way to keep fighting. Just keep fighting.
And then diving for it, D. Brown, and they're going to get Brown diving into the legs of Bell.
Are you kidding me? I didn't see it, man.
It's the battle for a basketball. So once the ball's on the floor, it's 50-50 ball. How's that call not made when you have players colliding? And is it possession basketball that Bell has to have possession of it if that whistle's going to happen?
I mean, my hands are up in the air right now because to me that was a fifth. That can go either way.
Okay.
And you just got to let the kids play that out, in my opinion.
Blocking foul going to be on Lytle, I believe.
And they're protecting the players. You don't want any injuries. You know, almost could have been a chop block if you want it, but see how she fell in the direction of the basket instead of the direction that Bell was going. If she had taken the charge and actually had her momentum going the way Bell was going, that might have worked because she was actually outside the arc that time. Man, I love this. I don't want this game to be over. I mean, this is how teams that advance in the tournament, they just don't want their season to end. They just say, I don't care what the weather's, I don't care how warm it is, I don't care that I miss my spring break. I can't wait to miss spring break because I play college basketball. Postseason.
21-point lead. Williams hard pass to Baker. Baker can't get the three to drop. Bell easily with the rebound.
And this is where Florida Gulf Coast University has to just put the pedal to the metal. For the last 3.5 minutes, don't be nice. They are making an impression on the NCAA tournament team. The tournament directors are watching every game. They're listening to every broadcast, and they're saying, where does this team fit? Where do they belong? They've got to put the pedal to the metal.
And the ball slapped by Lytle, and now hard to the floor is Ashton Baker. She's going to have to sit there for a minute.
Now, I don't think there was any ill will in that. You know how the Eagles play. She just didn't want an easy transition bucket. She knew if it got past her, it was 2 points.
Checking out is Emma List.
Yeah, what a yeoman's work. The lunch pail player of the game. You'll never see it on the stat sheet, what she does. All the intangibles, taking the charge, a screen that nobody saw, a communication, I got it, you take it kind of thing. Much like Morehouse, they're just things that don't register on the stat sheet.
Baker.
Just got to take it to the rack, time and score.
Brown rather. And pass. It's a dangerous pass going past several players.
Just take it to the rack. What I want to do is a 20-point game. I want it to be 10. I want it to be under 10. Just get out of double digits. If I'm Florida Gulf Coast University, I want it to be 30. I mean, this is what we're trying to do, is impress the committee. Right now, this is for seeding. For the record, List did foul out with her 5th foul as Williams, long three. Got to go for it. Just put the pedal to the metal and get it down. Don't stop now. Do what you've been doing. Post game, we will have the winning coach and a player of the game. I think we may know who that is. Bell. Give her 30 points. Why not? Kirsten Bell. Impressive. It's nothing personal, but this isn't upward basketball. This is NCAA tournament time, and this is a chance to advance and to stretch the gap here to impact your seeding for the national tournament. It makes a difference, Nathan. Every possession matters right now. Williams will have the inbound. But I do love upward basketball, by the way. Oh, yeah. It's a great league. Great. Yeah. But not everybody gets a star. Lytle is going to hit the three. That's star power. We just saw our 2 impact players. One on the left side, one on the right side. Booyah! Cox guarded by Baker. She's in her hip pocket. Yeah. Run down the clock, but run right to the rack, just like you've been doing all day. Bell? Yeah, why not? Easy for Cox, and she'll nail the three. Absolutely. Do what you do. I know what Coach Carl Smesko's thinking of. He doesn't want to show anybody one more offensive set. He doesn't want to reveal anything. He keeps his cards so close to the vest. Lytle cut off by Cecil, and now Cecil's going to be whistled for a foul, sending... Everybody already had their senior night. Okay, we've already celebrated that, so this isn't about programs, but now you see, hey, freshman, there's your senior. Nice hand for graduate Andrea Cecil. There she is. Oak Harbor, Ohio. See her just going down the, off camera, she's going down the bench there. Everybody's happy for her. Lytle quick trigger on the three, and going to stay with Liberty. Cecil has a great preseason interview if you're into, you know, that kind of thing, and just hearing about the program and the things they do off the court and why it's great to be an Eagle in the blue and green. Really fun. Baker three. Quick rebound by Lytle. Yeah. She's going to force that sucker in. That's noon ball at the Lytle's Thanksgiving. I mean, that's NBA, no babies allowed. Possession basketball. Credit to both these programs. We knew it could be the first 5 minutes, it could have gone either way. It was a coin flip. You didn't know what was going to happen. But Florida Gulf Coast University just showing why they are one of the most highly offensive rated programs in the history of the game. Yeah.
And you're going to get a couple players checking out. Morehouse, Cox, and Kirsten Bell with a huge hand from the crowd.
Yes. Crowd is on their feet. The coaches are clapping, high-fiving. I love the fact that the coaches dressed up for this championship event when we've been dressing down all year for obvious reasons, but I love it.
Shia Dowling checks in. First time we've seen her. Kiera Adams. Tamia Johnson.
So this is B Company for Florida Gulf Coast University. Yesterday, they were having a shooting competition, and they beat A Company for the Eagles.
Love it.
I love it, man. All right, well, no, start again. They want to Coach Coughlin. No starting again.
Hackley also on the floor.
Winners.
83-59, 108 left here in this ASUN Championship. What a tournament it has been. But FGCU is going to head and represent the ASUN in the national tournament.
I want every team in the postseason to be a play-to-the-buzzer team. You have to play with urgency. How you finish this season is like reading a good book. You turn a page, and it's how you start the next season.
And a foul on Baker. I mean, her second, rather.
So many great stories, so many great things that our sports information crews have shared with us. Media relations, Hunter McKay has helped us out here. Paul Karamy, Nick Hugenfeld, they're all behind the scenes, working hard.
Yeah, Adams' shot hits everything before dropping. Just 2 for 10 on the season from the free throw line.
Working hard to get us the information we need to present it to you.
Yep.
And it's just hundreds and hundreds of hours and pages that people don't see that goes on to make this possible.
And updated constantly as the bank three by Lytle. 32 seconds left. Shot clock is still on. About a 5-second differential.
Play to the buzzer. You never get a chance to reenact these special situations in game speed except in the game.
Lytle has it go off her hands, out of bounds, and FGCU will have possession. Shot clock off, 18.5 seconds left.
That's where I want the body language to just point to, I got it next time or whatever. Why? Because we're playing for next year right now. Florida Gulf Coast University is playing for this year, but the other squad's playing for next year. Lytle bellying up. That's the way to do it. That's what I'm talking about right there.
Dowling into Adams.
Yeah, don't stop. Play to the buzzer.
And the Dogs have been called off. And FGCU will dribble this one out. 84-62. And we have an ASUN champion, and it's Florida Gulf Coast University.
From the start, it looked like it could be possession basketball. Went on for about 5-6 minutes, and after that, it was